everyone. Welcome to Getting Fit, Staying Fit. And this week, our spiritual exercises and our challenge is to live a resurrection life. Now, please note, I did not say a resurrected life. I said a resurrection life. So our challenge is to live into the promises and the power and the hope and the strength of Jesus' resurrection, and for us to live a resurrection life. And this is not a platitude. This, in fact, is one of the most real, most human, most difficult lives that we can choose for ourselves, because a lot of it involves putting Jesus' teachings into action and making them real. So, some of our exercises, and the first one is going to feel perhaps uncomfortable because most people do not like to do this, and that is to be vulnerable. To give ourselves permission to say we're hurting, to say things aren't okay, to be vulnerable to other people, to not have to put on an external show for external validation, looking for some kind of approval of people, but instead to allow ourselves to be fully human, which is what, by the way, what the incarnation affirmed to us, is that we get to do that, and that's perfectly okay, is to let ourselves be vulnerable. On a side note, there are a couple of wonderful TED Talks by Brené Brown on the price of invulnerability and the blessings of vulnerability. I may have the second title a little off, but just look for Brené Brown and TED Talks. They're really remarkable. But we need to let ourselves be vulnerable to one another, which means we allow imperfection. Only God is perfect, and I have a spiritual director who tells me that perfectionism is blasphemy. So, allow for imperfection. We make mistakes. We all do. It's in our baptismal vows. And whenever you fall into sin, will you repent and return to the Lord? It doesn't say if you do, it says when you do. And our answer is, I will, with God's help. Because that's living a resurrection life, is understanding that even our foibles and all of the things in which and through which we are fallible are all forgivable. All of them, no exceptions. And if you're arguing with me right now, go back to not making decisions for God. Okay, the next thing we have to do is be honest in our fears and in our difficulties and ask God for help. That's living a resurrection life, is being honest about that, about being accountable for ourselves and not blaming other people. To let go of our need to know and to be in control of things. There's tremendous freedom and resurrection in letting God be God and letting us be His beautifully, wonderfully, fallibly made creation. And the fallibility comes from us, not from God. And then, here are the other spiritual exercises. Love everyone. Everyone, especially the people you don't like and who are different from you. Love them, no exceptions. Forgive as we are forgiven. And we're going to mess up on all of this. Keep trying. So, some real challenges and some real potential spiritual growth for all of us to get fit and to stay fit in our spiritual lives with Jesus. Have a great week, everybody.